The Red Eyes. Legend number 534. The old Blackwood estate had stood empty for 47 years. Its windows boarded, its gardens surrendered to thorns and shadow. Yet Marcus found himself drawn to its wrought iron gates each evening, compelled by something he couldn't name, a pull that began as curiosity and deepened into obsession. The locals whispered of legend number 534, their voices dropping to reverent murmurs when they spoke of the Red Eyes. Children learned to avoid the estate's perimeter after dark, and even the boldest teenagers dared not venture past the rusted gate. But Marcus was new to Millbrook, ignorant of its folklore, dismissive of small-town superstition. The first night he saw them, he convinced himself it was merely light reflecting off broken glass, care crimson points gleaming from the third-floor window, steady and unblinking. They appeared precisely at midnight, vanishing with the first pale hint of dawn. Marcus documented them with scientific detachment, photographing the phenomena, measuring angles, calculating trajectory. But the photographs revealed only darkness. The second week brought changes. The red glow seemed brighter, more focused, as if aware of his scrutiny. Marcus began experiencing headaches during his vigil, sharp pains that pierced his skull like ice picks. His sleep grew fitful, plagued by dreams of endless corridors and doors that opened onto nothing but those burning, patient eyes. The temperature around the estate dropped noticeably after sunset, even during the sweltering August heat. Frost formed on the iron bars despite the season, and Marcus's breath misted in the unnatural cold. The very air seemed to thicken, pressing against his chest with suffocating weight. By the third week, Marcus had understood why the townspeople spoke in hushed tone. The eyes had begun to move. They drifted from window to window with deliberate purpose, always maintaining their unwavering stare. Sometimes they appeared on the ground floor, sometimes the second, but most often they returned to that third-floor window of the room where Marcus learned from reluctant locals. The Blackwood patriarch had taken his own life in 1976. The man had been found with his eyes carved out, though no weapon was ever discovered. Marcus's research revealed a pattern spanning generations. Every few decades, someone would be drawn to the estate, compelled to watch and wait. They would document the phenomenon, rationalize it, study it with academic fervor, and then, inevitably, they would disappear. The last victim had been a paranormal investigator in 1998. Her equipment was found scattered across the estate grounds, her cameras destroyed, their memory cards melted into unrecognizable slag. She was never seen again, though neighbors reported seeing 3 sets of red eyes in the windows for months afterward. Now, as Marcus stood at the gates for the 21st consecutive night, he felt the familiar pull intensifying. The eyes had descended to the ground floor, hovering just beyond the front door's glass panels, pulsed with malevolent intelligence. And Marcus realized with crystalline clarity that they had been waiting for him specifically. The iron gates rusted shut for decades, swung open with a prolonged shriek. Marcus's feet moved without his permission, carrying him up the cracked stone path. Dead leaves crunched beneath his shoes, though no trees grew near enough to shed them. The air grew colder with each step, and his breath came in ragged puffs that dissipated too quickly in the unnatural atmosphere. The front door stood ajar. Beyond the threshold lay absolute darkness, save for those twin points of crimson fire floating at eye level. They beckoned with hypnotic intensity, promising answers to questions Marcus hadn't known he was asking. The temperature plummeted further, and ice crystals began forming on his eyelashes. As he crossed the threshold, Marcus understood the true horror of legend number 534. The red eyes weren't a haunting, they were a harvest. Each generation's observer became part of the collection, their essence absorbed, their consciousness trapped behind those burning orbs. The door slammed shut behind him. In the morning, Millbrook's residents would find the estate exactly as it had been for 47 years, empty, boarded, bought. That night, those brave enough to look would count for sets of red eyes glowing from the window. And somewhere in town, a new resident would feel an inexplicable urge to walk past the old Blackwood estate, drawn by forces beyond comprehension to become the next chapter in an endless, hungry legend.